I'm Abigail Winters. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. Well, I took Art 1 my freshman year, and I really didn't like it. And then I took drawing my sophomore year, and I was like, oh, okay, I like this. I like learning new techniques. I like being able to create things that are specific to me in the way I like them, like have it very personal, which I thought was neat. I'd say usually I tend to gravitate towards drawing and painting more than anything else. I've only really taken two like formal art classes that are just like one specific thing, and one was drawing and the other was painting. And so I think for a while I just gravitated towards just like graphite pencils because it was like the cheapest to use and like most accessible. Whenever I was younger, I was always told that I was very mature for my age and rejected anything childlike, including like crayons or anything that wasn't like, I always wanted to act older and have my art reflect that. And then as I've gotten older, I've kind of gone back and enjoyed more childish things because I can. And so I add little childish things to my art, like little scribbles and stuff like that. I have found a few artists, I wouldn't be able to name them, but essentially it's like realistic or slightly impressionist, but then you add more like childish things in it, like scribbles, like oil pastel and stuff like that. And I've been really drawn to incorporating more childlike elements in more realistic art instead of it just being like copied like a photograph, having it more stylistic. And I recently did an art piece in my painting class last year that was in bright colors, and it was a painting of an old man. And I used oil pastels on top of acrylic paint to have a more playful kind of thing to contrast with like him being an old man and having a more like childish art style. It was impressionist, which I like. I don't know if I'd really want to be a famous artist. I feel like there's a lot of pressure and criticism that goes with being famous in any aspect. I feel like it's kind of more, it's nicer to have art as something for yourself and for your like loved ones rather than having it so commercialized, which is why I didn't really think of doing it as a career, because it's like takes out the passion in it somewhat, like creating for the sake of creating rather than creating to live off of. Yeah. I think anytime you look at someone else's art, you can see every little aspect of everyone else's art that makes it uniquely their own. Like even like the way someone holds a pencil or something, it can differ from your own. So I feel like every mark is somewhat personal, you know? Like I feel like anyone's art is so uniquely their own that it's really, you can't copy it by hand, like without cheating. It's like, because everything, even if you try and copy it, it's like everyone's so different in so many different ways. It's like, I feel like just making art is uniquely your own. In my art form, it's easier to feel in place. Like at my school, it's a large school with 2,500 people. And so I feel out of place in places that aren't focused on art. Like since being here, I've been able to more easily make friends just because we all have similar interests and things in common like that. Art is not an objective thing. It's not objectively good or bad. It's a very subjective thing. And so you can just make art and like it. And you don't have to say, I'll like it when. I'll like it when I get here. I'll like it when I can draw people realistically. It's just, you can like art in the process of making it rather than the final product.